Namaste, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be focusing specifically on the neck, and this is a great practice for our challenge because you can actually do this entire practice seated in a chair. In fact, there are some poses that I would argue actually feel better if you're seated in a chair. So if you're at work and you just want to get a quick 10-minute, 15-minute yoga stretch on, get the tension out of the neck. So many of us hold tension in the neck and the jaw. So this should feel really good by the end of the practice. So we'll get started in a seated position today. So you can either sit cross-legged, you could sit on your shins just as I was, or you can sit up into a chair. Usually I like to sit up onto a blanket or a block if I'm seated on the floor, but today we're practicing in this beautiful park outside in Austin, Texas. So I'm just gonna sit on the ground and we'll just take it from there. So let's start by just placing the hands right at your heart center. We'll take a couple big arm circles to get together. So let's take the arms out, around, and up. Look up and take a breath in there, and then bring the hands back down in front of you. And then we'll do that again. Breathe in, reach up, take the chin up, look up, and then hands back into your heart. Let's do that one more time. Big breath in, reach, and breathe out, hands in towards your heart. Really great. Let's take the hands onto the knees. So whether you're cross-legged, whether you're on your shins or in your chair, bring the hands onto the knees and start to pull on your knees. Lift your chest, let the head drop back and take a breath in. And then breathe out to round your spine. Let the chin move to the chest. I'm gonna turn, you keep going. We're gonna breathe in, lift, arch your back, let the head drop back. Exhale to round, chin to chest, and rock towards the back of your seat. Do that one more time. Breathe in, lift, and breathe out to round. And then come back up into a neutral spine. We'll reach your two arms forward. I'll face you again. And we'll take the right arm to the underneath, the left arm across to the top. And this time, just hug your shoulders. Give yourself a big hug. Close your eyes. And before we move at all, just send a couple of breaths into your hands. See if you can feel the movement of your shoulder blades opening up through the upper and middle back. And then we'll draw some little circles with your elbows. So just start to draw tiny circles in one direction. You might make the circles a little bit bigger if that feels good to you, or even a little bit smaller. And then switch the direction of those circles the other way. Now slow down those circles and lift the elbows up a little bit, little back bend, and exhale to round your spine. And just like our seated cat-cows, we'll do that two more times. Breathe in, lift, and breathe out to round. One more time. Breathing in, lift up, and breathe out, round through the upper back. Hold there, and again, send the breath into your hands. And stay as you exhale. And lift yourself back up with your inhale. Unwind the arms, take them out to the sides like you're going for the biggest bear hug ever. Lift your chest, spread wide. And then this time we'll take the left arm to the underneath, right elbow across to the top. Give yourself a big hug, walk your hands in. We'll take the breath into the hands again, closing the eyes. And just as you bring your awareness to that spot of your spine, right between the shoulder blades, we're gonna work and focus from that spot upwards to where the spine connects to the crown of the head today. And then start to draw those little circles with the elbows, one direction. You might feel one side way different than the other, very normal. If you don't feel any difference, just in your mind, label it no difference and come right back into the movement. Other direction a few times if you haven't switched yet. Slow that movement down, lift the elbows up, little back bend, gaze up, and then round forward and take an exhale there. And do that two more times. Breathe in to lift, and breathe out to round. One last time. Breathe in, lift up, look up. Exhale, round your spine, little C curve through the upper back, and hold. Send the breath again into your hands. And soften as you exhale. Come back upright. One last time. Unwind the arms, reach wide to the sides. You're going for the biggest hug ever. And then relax your hands down. Now this time we'll take the left arm up. So I'm gonna do what's the opposite of you. So I'm not quite sure how it'll translate to the video, but I'll lift my right arm up, but wait, let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna lift my right arm up. You lift your left arm up. And we'll place the forearm onto your head. So we're gonna start by stretching the right side of the neck. So drop your ear over to the left. Really important we're not pulling with the arm that's on the head. This is where if you're in a chair, you can reach for the bottom of the chair and use it as a little extra pressure to move the stretch down the neck. If you're not in a chair, you'll walk your hands out to the right and reach the fingers towards the floor, and you'll get the same sensation. I just kind of prefer the way the chair is really sturdy. Then close the eyes and take a few breaths here. If this feels too intense, you can always take that left arm off of your head and just rest it on your left leg. Keep your fingers reaching towards the ground if they're not hooked on a chair. Now staying on this side, turn your chin a little down towards your collarbone. Feel that stretch through the back of your neck. And then turn your chin slightly up towards the sky. Feel the stretch across the fibers of the front of the neck, and take a little side to side with the jaw. Go right, go left, let the jaw hang open, stretch through the neck all the way to the ears. One more deep breath. And then if that arm is still on your head, remove it, bring your head back up to the middle, and just take a couple shoulder rolls forward and backwards. Just again, noticing any difference that you feel from the right side to the left side. And then we'll do the other side. So this time, you'll reach your right arm up, drop the forearm onto your head, and then bring your right ear over. So we're aiming for the stretch on the left side of the neck now. You could either take your left fingers out onto the floor, grip the bottom of your chair, find the spot that works for you, and reach down. Again, we're not pulling with the arm. The arm is just a little additional weight. So if it feels too much, just take it off. Let that arm relax. Gravity often is enough in this pose. Taking deep breaths here, softening through the eyes, maybe even closing them. And then now turn your chin slightly down towards the collarbone, reaching for that stretch through the back of the neck. There's a muscle that connects right behind your ear to your shoulder blade called your levator scapula. And it often becomes really tight, and that's what we're aiming for, the stretch here. Turn the chin slightly up towards the sky now, so reaching through those left fingers, do a side to side of your jaw, opening up through the front of the neck. One more deep breath. And then if your arm is still on your head, remove it. Bring your head back up through the center, relax that stretch. And then if you're on your chair, you'll scooch towards the very edge of your chair and put your hands onto the back of the chair. So the hands are still on the seat. If you're in your mat or on the floor, you'll do this with me just as I am. You'll walk the feet in, leaning into the hands behind you. If you're on the floor, turn your fingers right and left away from each other. Now on the chair, you'll walk your feet in a little bit and you'll lift the hips up off the chair. If you're on your mat, you'll lift the hips off the mat into the air and let the head drop back into your upper shoulders. Reverse tabletop. Take a big breath in, press your feet down, open mouth, exhale, release the hips back down. And then walk your hands forward and thank yourself for showing up. Thank you for spending the time. Please make sure, if you enjoyed this video, to subscribe to the channel. Even if this is your first day doing the challenge, you can always go back and watch the other videos, take it at your own pace, or mix and match for whatever your needs are. And thank you so much again. Namaste.